Hey YouTube, this is a Seed of Wisdom. I'm trying to do a quick retake to the VR to Cokeman250 Spring is in the Air contest. I'm trying to talk louder because I had a couple of questions. But this is our new garden. This is our first year ever doing a garden on our own. Previous years my dad had a farm and a big tractor, and he did most of it. He had all the know-how, and we just did the legwork. So we had a friend come over with a Kubota. He had harrows and broke this up for us, and we did the rest of it with a tiller. So please don't laugh too much. But I just appreciate you guys' input. First row we have here is a little row of tomatoes. This sweet 100s, I think these are. These are like little grape-sized tomatoes. Super sweet 100. And then at the other end of that row we have Better Boys. And then I'm going to try to do this one much quicker. We have 2 rows of Ford Hook limas. Nice, good, juicy green bean. I just ate some a couple of days ago out of my mom's freezer that had been there for probably 4 or 5 years, and they tasted just as good as new. Then I have a row of zipper cream peas and 2 rows of little green butter beans. I love the green butter beans. And then we did a row of jalapeno peppers. We really like jalapenos. The other end has some bell peppers on it and a mosquito. Hold on. Oh, jeez. Mosquitoes, terrible. And then we have a row of zucchini squash. And not sure if you can see these or not, but we have some cucumbers that are just starting to come up. We planted those just a few days ago, so they're a little behind. And then I have a row of squash. We put crook neck this end, straight neck at the other end. Empty row. I'm going to plant some green beans in a couple of days. I was trying to go by the moon. It said wait till the 23rd, I think. Have some potatoes coming up here. So I have a row of potatoes, and as I said, this is new land. We've never grown anything here before, so you see all the wood. I'm hoping that when we till it, it will work in with the soil and make good mulch. And then we have a half a row of potatoes. Things are small because we water and water and water, and it's still as dry as heck around here. And then at this end we have a Silver Queen corn. And the reason I did that is because I read that, or maybe someone told me, that rather than planting 2 long rows of corn, it's better to plant 4 short rows because of pollination. So we have at this end here 4 little short rows of Silver Queen, and then at the other ends of these rows we planted okra, which is just starting to come up. It's doing okay. I think we need more fertilizer since this is new soil that's never been worked. It doesn't have enough nutrients in it from prior years' use. Oh, that's my little sprinkler that my cousin made. He wasn't using it, so he gave it to us, and we're trying our best to utilize it. We just had a little drizzle of rain, which covers the top of the soil. But anyway, one thing I had to ask was about cross-pollination, putting those beans and peas together. I'm not going to dig them up. Oh, there's my little bit. But should we have separated the peas from the beans? Is that going to be an issue? At least I will know for next year. If we get anything to work this year, at least I'll know what to do for next year. This area out here, I forgot to say earlier, well, we did have some land cleared, but we've had lots of pine trees cut down. And one of my questions is can I rake up all that pine straw and leaves and just use it as a top mulch? I didn't know if bacteria-wise, if that would be a problem or not. This is a little raised bed garden. Have a couple of habanero plants and a mammoth jalapeno. My rosemary plant's been there a couple of years. I've had this bed. I just haven't done anything with it until this year for the last 2 or 3 years, except for the rosemary. A couple of zucchini plants we bought that were like 3 inches tall, so they're doing real well. You'll see the roll of wire. That's to keep my dogs out. That's what we had handy, and I grabbed it. My cucumbers was one question. I put them at this end thinking that we could till this up and train the vines to grow this way to give them more room. But even before they were like 6 inches tall, which they've grown considerably the last couple of days, these things were full of blooms and even have some little baby cucumbers on them. Do I need to snip off those blooms and let the plants have more growth before they start producing cucumbers? That's question number 2. You can see, as I said, lots of straw and leaves around here. One day I'll get myself together and maybe be a little more productive. I think this is wild blueberries here. I'm not sure. Looks like wild blueberries. I see the little berries on them. I'm not sure. This is just a little wheelbarrow I had with some flowers in it. I had my poppy flowers in there. But I had a couple of extra cucumber plants left over. And at the time, our little garden area wasn't ready, so I dropped them in there. I might transplant them over to the garden area. They do have blooms. Wonder if I shouldn't transplant them. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me. Little garden areas, again, another of the raised beds. I had 2 that we built 3 years ago or so. And I just put the leftover bell pepper plants and a couple of tomato plants down there. But it has just rained. This is still how dry it is. I mean, it is just terrible. And this is after rain. It's really hard to keep anything watered here. Last little area is the tomatoes. I bought this tomato plant. It was like 10 inches tall or so. I transplanted it into this pot, and it's done really well. Got lots of tomatoes on it. But it's too late now for me to transplant it since it's full of tomatoes, so I'm just hoping that this pot is going to support it. The root growth and the fruit. Little patio tomato plant I bought there. A few herbs. Have some oregano and some chives, some thyme, parsley, a little bit of spearmint. I actually just trimmed most of these the other night, 2 days ago. Used the herbs for our baked chicken. And that's my pump. I got that on eBay. I liked it. It's a northern thing, I think. Doesn't look like any pictures. We had pitcher pumps from here in the south that I saw anyway. Maybe one day I'll get a underground water line running to it or something. And this is what I had started before we started on the garden. A little garden area, a little flower garden area. And it was full of butterflies the other day when I did the first take. Maybe I will get this finished. But any information, any input you guys can give us, I certainly do appreciate it. I know I say that a lot, but it's because we need as much help as we can get. Thank you guys. Talk to you later. Go. That is spring for you. Might be zoomed too much, huh? Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.